I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch, it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set it. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. We've got a full house tonight. We've definitely got at least some NBA rookie conversations to talk about tonight, but a few other things. How we feeling?
Not too shabby.
It's not 90 degrees in here.
It's not.
It feels gorgeous, actually. It feels wonderful.
I feel nude under my clothes.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
Not wearing underwear, yuck.
Yeah.
I'd be nude under that too, though. That's still clothing.
You know what could happen if you don't treat strep throat right away?
What's that?
Could you educate us, Miles?
Yeah, you can end up with craters all over your, what are these called? Your tonsils. Your tonsils?
Tonsils, nodes, whatever.
Yeah, just.
But it looks like something disgusting off of like when you watch like the Animal Planet and shit, and they show some fucked up fish. You know what I mean? That's what it looks like going on in there. He's like, hey man, does this look normal? He has like extra breathers and shit in there, alien like, because it's like has its own pulse.
Yeah, dude. So it's like I got.
What the fuck is that?
It's like I got 3 of them now. It's like one's got split in half.
Show Rio.
Don't blame.
I don't have a flashlight.
Show Rio. Let me look. Show. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look on the far left or far right.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Can you see that?
Jesus Christ.
I mean, it still looks pretty red back there, so I don't know.
That's good. That's getting.
Is that just gagging from?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, is that not wrong?
I had
dude?
to.
Want me to pull your hair away?
Well, I had a couple. I had a couple cum shakes.
What?
I gotcha.
Dude, it looks gross though, don't it? It looks like
Custards.
something like from Alien or some shit.
Yeah, dude. It's like
Yeah, that's
can't say I've never had strep throat.
I think what I'm getting at is I'm starting to think that it wasn't strep throat or that isn't what you got going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, came from the COVID shot, I bet.
Speaking of which, nice transition. You guys seen that the player that was was Cuban or whatever, that was claiming that the shot gave him his rare heart condition?
Fidel Castro?
No, not Fidel Castro.
Oh, okay.
Died of the heart.
Oh,
No
he
shit.
died from it?
Yeah. I'll bring up the article quick, but tell us more about how you think that's strep throat related.
Yeah. I'm eating some nasty.
You get what you get. Take it or leave it. So I know of 2 people that have had strokes now from the COVID shot. I know of 3 people that have had that are
Dominican.
35 and younger that have ended up with heart conditions over this. One being, I know my brother had heart complications after the shot. He ended up with like these black spots like on his lungs, which then in turn went to his heart. Maybe it'd be crazy if you're about to say the same thing. I can't remember the name. So
Black spots is pneumonia.
Well, no, but it ended up forming like chrysalis and shit. Like,
So, to this player, professional Dominican basketball player Oscar Cabrera Adames died this week after an apparent heart attack while he was possibly undergoing a stress test. He is believed to have suffered from myocarditis.
it's exactly what my brother had.
The disease can weaken the heart and electrical system, which decreases the heart's ability to pump blood.
No, my sister was born with that. Never mind. I gotta look into that.
Exactly right here. It says social media posts surfaced in which Cabrera Adames suggested he developed a rare heart disease after he received 2 doses of a COVID vaccine. I got a damn myocarditis from taking a fucking vaccine. Effing vaccine. I got
What's a
2
effing stand
doses. I got 2 doses of Pfizer, and I knew it. Many people warned me. He wrote on social media.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is what he had because it's in severe cases it scars the heart tissue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big thing after the CDC had to admit this too. If you look at myocarditis, like historically, is something super rare, especially for young people. Like it's something that does not happen. It's not normal. After what happened in 2020 and the forced vaccinations and things like that, even though people weren't comfortable, that number just skyrocketed. And that's not something you can just take a pill and get over either. You have to live with that the rest of your life, and you have to be really careful because the smallest thing could cause a huge heart issue, whether it's, you talk about a stroke or a heart attack or whatever the case. Yeah.
Oh wow, this is crazy. The survival rate for myocarditis is 80% 1 year after having it, and 50% 5 years later.
Yeah. No bueno.
But you guys are all caught up, right? Did you get the second shot, Miles?
I got the second, but I never got. I think to be fully vaccinated, I was supposed to have the third.
Swear to
You're
God.
never fully vaccinated
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
go
you
by
just-
there.
You
Never
just gotta
fully.
keep getting re-upping, baby.
I just
re-upping.
had to get 2 to get my job.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Well, that's too bad. Rest in peace. The
Yeah.
Jamie Foxx story quietly went away too, by the way.
Mhm.
Talking about
Weirdly.
that. but- Yeah.
Of course.
That went away. Mel Gibson's story went away.
What was Mel Gibson?
So Mel Gibson has been working on a documentary
Oh, yeah.
to,
Yeah.
to expose the elites in the pedophile ring.
Oh,
In
you have
Hollywood.
my attention.
In Hollywood.
And it's like a 4-part documentary, and it was. I've been hearing every week now. It's getting released this week. It's getting released this week. I do remember seeing like a TikTok video of the guy involved with Mel Gibson, and it was I'm not 100% sure, but I'll say it. But it was like Mel Gibson's wife calls this guy that was in Ukraine. She's like, I'm about to give you an address where like 50 kids are. Like Mel Gibson went into this hard, and they ended up like pulling kids out of all this shit, and now he wants to come to light with it and expose it, and it's crazy because Jamie Foxx, before all this happened, was allegedly either tied to this documentary. Don't know how true that is. Allegedly tied to this documentary, or he was allegedly going down the same rabbit hole.
As
And-
Mel Gibson.
Yeah,
Wow.
like they both were like, no, fuck this isn't right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
really
the
fucked
important
up shit.
stuff gets shut down, man. That's the way it
Yeah,
goes.
real
Sure.
quiet. I didn't know about the Mel Gibson one.
Biden's impeachment's going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it though?
but
Yeah.
I don't
Is
know if
it?
it's an impeachment of him or trying to really figure out how much money his son's making.
Listen, lying on government forms and taking money from other countries, using your dad for that, tax evasion, that stuff's not a big deal, Miles. If it was us, we probably would get a slap on the wrist too. It's
Yeah.
totally fine.
I'll let you know.
It's
Absolutely.
totally fine.
Shady tax services, baby. Well, that's what pretty serious stuff. So we'll go into some more
Ish.
ish.
Well, hold on. Before you go into sports, don't like. If there was a time of like shit either about to change drastically, or a time where maybe we should like start getting a bunker ready, we're on the cusp of a lot of stuff right now.
If you're going to get it ready now, you're already too late. You
Don't-
should have done it probably right around
Yeah,
when COVID went down.
1993.
Right. But definitely you're a few years ago, and I say few, like
Yeah.
three or more. You should have been getting ready if you were.
Yeah.
I'm just stating like there's a lot going on, and they're doing it so in our face, like just blatantly.
They have been for a while now, though.
Yeah, it's just getting.
It's just more and
Yeah.
more and more. I don't know what the end game is necessarily, because usually the media controls like what is being seen.
Mhm.
I'm surprised that stuff's coming.
As much
Maybe
as it's out.
maybe it is because of places like TikTok where they don't have control over what's being shown. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe
Yeah.
that's one that may sound corny and shit. I get it, but maybe it's the one little thing that ekes shit through because everything else has a. Fuck, we witnessed it with if you talk to anything negative of COVID when you're on Facebook, what was happening?
You'd get slapped with the COVID-19 guidelines, and then it would take over your whole
It would
post.
or the next one, yeah, absolutely. Or the next one would be like, it put like, do you want to know the truth though?
Yeah.
It put like a post on your post. Right?
Oh, and then they did that
You
with
guys see that
Biden
one?
too. It did that with Biden too in
Yeah.
the election.
Because
Yeah, the laptop.
because Facebook works with the government.
Yeah.
I mean, that's Zuckerberg was under whatever investigation for shit, but then that magically disappeared too. So
That's like Elon Musk was getting ready to do that series after he took over Twitter, and he only did one of them.
who was that he offered to get into the boxing ring
Zuckerberg.
with?
Him and
Zuckerberg,
dude. Yeah.
That needs to happen.
UFC.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
It doesn't need to happen.
Dana White is legit
That'll
about
be
it.
the biggest fight in the history of the world.
Oh, it would be.
Do they literally hate each other though?
Oh, I bet.
I don't know. Probably Zuckerberg like blushes like nonstop, so he probably doesn't like being called out. And Elon's just weird and awkward enough that
He's got Asperger's. He'll shoot him.
he'll just.
So yeah, here's the problem, man. Like Elon is obviously the is it jiu-jitsu that he's into? Not Elon. Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg is.
Yeah. So he knows what he's doing with that stuff. Elon isn't in the greatest shape, but this motherfucker's Iron Man. His ass is gonna come in there with some shit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm here for. He's gonna come in there with something.
He's gonna be technical
You know,
as shit.
He's gonna have some kind of extra strength going on. He'll put some in his knees. I don't know what he'll do, but he'll make it worth it.
His urine will be. Oh yeah.
Hey,
And then we're gonna get some fucking world breaking news. Okay, I don't think he sold you. This man has signed up for Elon's fucking brain chip.
Neuralink.
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 Yep, I signed up for it.
What's this do?
I'm going to be able to control computers with my brain. I'm going to be a nonstop walking Google. I'm going to be a calculator.
Did they ask you to put your social security in the box?
No, not yet. Not yet. Did ask me some questions.
Just needed a tiny bit, last little bit of your debit card, all the numbers, and then all your social
And
security.
there's a three number
Security
number
code.
on the back.
Security
Security,
code on the
code.
back.
We're gonna go ahead and
We're gonna
read that.
need that just because
just
we got to enter it into the brain
technical
chip so that
things.
you can just pay for stuff whenever you want.
So me and James made it all week without arguing, and then he's just like,
Yes.
he's like, what? He goes,
And he's my runner, so kudos to me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm giving myself
that's
one. Not
good.
all week. All week I was able to hold it together until this.
yeah. So I started telling him about this, and he's like, well, what do they ask for? I was like, I got ADHD, so I just said I had autism.
I was like, what? You can get away with just. He's like, well, I'm diagnosed ADHD. I'm like, so? Like you just said that it needs to be autistic or like certain other things, but it's not ADHD. He's like, no, they're the same thing. I'm like, no, they're not.
They're not, but they're the spectrum. They've made the spectrum so big anymore that I feel like
Well, maybe, but
Yeah, that he would definitely
yeah.
classify.
Yeah.
No,
well,
but he proved me.
no, but I'm like, those two things are like almost the exact opposite
Actually,
of each
now
other.
that the more he talks, I'm on board.
He should get something, right? But they're literally the exact opposite of the spectrum. I don't know if you guys know that, but they literally are the exact opposite. And I'm like the very first one I bring up. The very first Google one, there was no iffy ones after that.
No,
either.
no.
Very clear cut. They are nowhere near the same.
And I thought they were. But then I told James, I was like, you know what? They put this new rate down at our job on the screen. Guess who's going to be able to control it?
hey.
What would it take for you to get the microchip?
Yeah, I'm not doing that shit. You're not putting shit in my brain, bro.
Fuck no.
No.
It'll correct you. It'll correct all your negatives that you
No,
have.
no. It still says you have to.
Didn't you say, I do believe I kind of even half-ass looked it up, didn't it? It corrects like a lot of your weaknesses.
Yeah, so it'll correct a lot for you.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
it's
I
not
think
gonna
it'll even
give
grow
you
half foot back. I don't know.
It's not
It'll
going to
make you
give
feel
you.
like
Still
you
don't
got
have
it.
me sold.
It's not going to give you motivation.
great
Though, you
OnlyFans.
still got to do stuff with it. Like I told James, it's like, well, I'm going to put a hat on, like I always do. When we go into the casino, your boy's going to be able to count cards like no other. And I'm going to have like a running thing in my head because it's going to be linked to my phone.
I hope Elon watches this because he'd be like, "That's what we would be sticking the chip in, so you can count fucking cards."
Yeah.
Trying to save the fucking world here. This dude's trying to count cards.
Yeah, so when they came out with this, it was more to like help people. Like, who's that fucking author that's like paralyzed and like fucking in his
Stephen Hawking?
Yeah, like Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
He'd be able to get up and walk and do shit, right? Or
Right.
he could talk, or different
Isn't
things.
he
Miles
dead?
is in here trying to just be
Rain
Superman.
Man.
Yeah,
Rain
fucking
Man.
Rain Man. Okay.
Count cards.
I get
Yeah,
it.
there's 37 matches in that box. 20 other people came in and used them. I don't know about the rest, but there's 27.
Jesus, it's bad math, but
It's
all right.
really
No, but that's what Rain
Real,
Man
do you
did.
ever think about this chip in your head?
No.
On the outside? Is it in the inside? Or I thought it was on the outside.
No, it's in the inside.
Yeah.
They
No.
connect to your brain.
It's a
Oh,
ro-
yeah.
Never
see?
happening.
A
Never
ro-
happened?
Never
a
happened.
robot.
Sure? It's
Well,
Elon.
I have
It's
no
your hero.
flaws.
That's why I'm also asking you. It's like your hero right there.
Yeah, no, listen, that's
There's
one
two
thing.
guys. There's two guys that do that. If my man over here were to ever jerk a guy off ever,
What? You're acting like he hasn't.
well, we don't. There's no video proof. Video proof version of
Allegedly.
it. Yeah, video. I would only need two guesses. It'd be either Joe Rogan or fucking Elon Musk.
I'd say you're pretty spot on.
Hey,
That'd be the ticket.
you guys ain't even listening
Both at the same time, too.
because
Yeah,
before
we go
I
skiing.
before I even brought up counting cards, I was like, "Can you imagine the porn I can watch?"
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Elon's definitely gonna pick you out of the deck of cards here.
No shit.
He's like, I just.
I mean,
Autism,
he
check
could use
mark.
it-
It's gonna be better than 4K, baby. It's gonna be in that brain, and it ain't leaving.
He could test you just to know in the future. Never again. This is why.
Yeah.
These types of people. We'll just say that.
With all
Miles.
due respect.
I'll be passing Teslas
guys-
down the road.
You
Shut
guys
off.
don't. You guys don't think of it as like a creepy type of thing. You actually think it's like wholehearted, like it's trying to help people.
Yeah, I think he's trying to, but I don't.
I'll let you know.
There's
I,
always a
I
back.
think it is. I think it is to help people, but it doesn't matter because as soon as the government or someone finds out they have a way to control you and it's by a fucking computer chip.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on, iPhones are supposed to be fucking sealed. We have old girls blown out fucking Biscuit and Butthole, the soccer player that got hacked off her shit. You're
Hope-
telling me
hope
that's
so
something
low
that they
for all
can't
of you.
control, that they control the airwaves to everything?
If you're interested, Hope Solo.
Yeah, hope so.
Wait a minute. So
the
if,
goalkeeper.
so if I'm next to somebody's phone, I can go through all their pictures with my brain.
I think you'd have to be.
No.
See,
connected.
that's the
way.
guy. That's the
Yeah.
guy that you don't need.
Who?
You.
You.
I'm sending a letter.
No,
you cannot be considered.
It's a fair
this.
question, though, man. I think like some of the worst things that ever happened to humanity have started off with the best intentions.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's all about who gets
Hmm.
control of that shit.
Have you?
Right?
Yeah, but as
Like
soon
think about
as it-
AI. AI could be fucking amazing for everybody, but it's gonna end up bad. It just fucking is, right? Like,
Last thing, you heard about Elon Musk's nanny yet? Have you watched the video of his old nanny?
you and FickBap or where?
No. TikTok. So I could have went down that rabbit hole. I mean, I
Okay.
could have been on FickBap and said, let's go on TikTok for a little bit, you know.
All right.
So I got
Give my
rid.
palm a
I got
break.
rid of the. I got tired of the porn TikTok, so I went to the real TikTok. And while I was on that, Elon Musk's nanny, because his mom used to be a model and his dad was like a raging alcoholic, I guess, or something. And anyways, Elon Musk's nanny states in a video that Elon was yelling for her when he was like 7 to 9 years old. Not real sure. I don't really remember the video. But anyways, she goes into his bedroom and he has a portal with other people in his room calling for her. Like, hey, come here. Come into the... Like, he summoned a portal in his room. And so she's like telling people this on the podcast. And then she goes, well, I told my sister about it. And sister goes, I already knew when I seen that kid, he's going to be the Antichrist. And now he wants to put chips in people.
Yeah, that's wild. He's an alien. I don't disagree with that. There's something. He's
Yeah.
different, but
So you're talking about this one right here.
Yeah, like...
He claims that
Is that-
Elon's childhood nanny speaks out. He opened a portal, questioned if he's the Antichrist. First time I heard you say that, I was thinking...
You want to jerk the devil off.
just fuck it. Let's go. Let's go.
You sinner.
Let me
You
touch that center
sinner.
stick.
Yeah,
Let me
touch
touch that center stick.
Let me use this holy water for lube. We'll see how that works.
Fix them up.
Will that burn it? Is that what
I don't know. It's already gonna be burning, right? Fuck. I don't know.
the first time I see the devil, is this the clitorius?
I thought of Damon right away. As soon as like he said that thing about the nanny saying he's the Antichrist, I just thought of like a little Damon, like the one that just stares at you.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
nice.
want that booty hole.
Creepy as hell.
Yeah.
So how about the sports transition?
All right.
Yeah,
there we go.
yeah.
Sorry.
So the NBA draft did get complete. There were no big surprises actually, and we could not talk the Spurs into thinking outside of Mr. Wembanyama.
Victor.
So
we
Victor-
decided Victor.
Victor.
Yeah.
Victor.
I just
Wembanyama. There you go.
I just
Wembanyama.
call him the
Victor?
beginning of the Lion King song.
He is being heavily celebrated. I don't know if you guys seen like clips and everything. Him coming in, like my phone was blowing up with that. I don't know if your guys' was too. Like him touching down in San Antonio, his first fucking food he got there, breakfast burritos. They just think it's the next coming right now.
Right.
You know, I'd probably be excited too, though, if it was my favorite franchise, right? And you thought you were getting that.
Right.
I think I'd be more excited about the number 3 pick. But Brandon Miller, there was no – evidently the Hornets claimed that it was Brandon Miller the whole time. They were just trying to throw a curveball. I think that's the reason why they've been losing for so long. Who are you curveballing? Because you know number 1 was going to be Victor, and you got whoever you wanted.
Right.
Right.
And then Scoot Henderson was number 3. The Thompson twins from Overtime Elite went 4 and 5. First time since first time in the top 5 that twins have went. First time in the first round since the old Kansas Cats.
Morris.
Yep.
The
Morris
Morris
brothers.
twins.
Yep.
Yep.
from
I was a
Kentucky.
little surprised by that. That was probably the Scoot Henderson one. I was jacked about that. And then our guy from Iowa fell. I don't know about fell. I mean, it's probably where he was going to go anyway. Chris Murray.
Yeah.
I was disappointed by anyone that needed a 3-and-D guy like before that. Like, for instance, the Lakers. Why didn't you take a 3-and-D that isn't trying to get the ball but is talented? That makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
But, the rest of it kind of fell in there. It was, what's that cat's name? Oh, Cam Whitmore. So they were picking up until even draft night. He was being picked by analysts to go in the top 5. Ended up dropping down to 20 to Houston. That was probably the quote-unquote biggest surprise of the whole draft.
Yeah.
What are you boys thinking? Yeah, there was a video of Grady Dick. I don't know if you guys know who he is.
Yeah.
Him being followed by because he went to the Raptors.
Yeah.
Drake, and he's just going nuts right there, just knowing you made it, I guess. But
Yeah. He's like, I just want Drake to wear my jersey.
That suit was fucking wild, too.
yeah.
Damn. I'm a fan, though.
What are you guys thinking? What are you guys thinking for a Rookie of the Year? We're gonna put it out there right now. Draft is over. I'm curious what you guys are thinking for Rookie of the Year. Who's going to win it? And then give me a dark horse, one that could come out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but I think a lot of us are probably going to say the number 1. Who else do you think?
Yeah, Victor's got a good shot, and just because that roster's not great, a lot of chance for put the ball in his hands and see what he can do. I am a little concerned that he only had one good year overseas, so that's kind of concerning a little bit. But definitely going to get a good shot at it. I mean, we could probably all say that guy's going to be the best number for it, right?
Yeah.
Let's see who else.
I'm going Kobe Buffkin.
Kobe Buffkin. Where'd he go?
Well, Michigan Wolverines, and he went to Atlanta Hawks.
Okay. It's
Plus-
because of his name.
No, I was gonna go that route, but he's plus 8,000. So
Yeah. My dark horse, I like Grady, actually.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah. He's plus 5,500, I think.
yeah,
And Toronto's not going to have anybody. They're not going to have anybody.
Yeah, Fred VanVleet
Yeah.
optioned out.
Yep. So they're gonna. Well, even who did they have left besides that? He doesn't want to be there either. I can't think of his name, but the only other good player there.
I'm looking real quick.
Fucking name's escaping me. But anyway, there's not gonna be anybody there. He'll be able to put up some stats. He's a really good 3-point shooter. I think he shot 40% in college. So that's my dark horse. I don't think Victor is going to win because I don't think he's going to play 65 games. I really don't. But not that body at all. There's some interesting, like Brandon Miller could make a run. I think he's going to combo really well with Ball.
Yeah.
And so they could actually be really interesting to watch this year. But something I didn't think about, so Chet is actually back. He'll be in consideration because he was out all last year.
Yep.
I think he's got a chance too. I think Chet could make a run.
You must be talking about Joe Wieskamp as the number 2 up there in Toronto because he's up there.
No, did old boy already get moved? Who
Oh,
was
you're thinking
there?
Pascal Siakam.
Yeah,
Siakam.
yeah.
Yep.
He was basically, if he hadn't got moved, I didn't think he did, but he's basically like, yeah, I want to go.
Yep.
So he'll be the only guy up there.
Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, whatever.
Jesus.
And then there's there is who was that fucking? There's a 35-year-old guy from Europe that got drafted to the Knicks. Maybe he could end up doing something because he's been playing with big boys for a long time, and he can have an impact like tomorrow.
Knicks. You think he went to the Knicks?
I
Must
think
have been the
so.
second round, right? Had been the second round. You're not taking a 35-year-old that.
Oh man, who? I'll just look it up. 35-year-old rookie.
Mojave King. So Danny found himself an interesting dark horse by digging out old Chet, which slipped my mind a little bit.
Shitty. Bang, bang.
Mine,
I don't know who I'm thinking of.
I don't. If Victor makes it to 65 games, he'll probably get it
Yeah.
because they don't have a bunch of talent there either. He'll be able to go. He'll be able to fill the stat line, and that is what that's what the rookie one will definitely be. It's stat stuffing for sure. If you want rookie of the year, it won't be based off of wins, of course. That being said, I'm huge on Scoot Henderson, and especially if Damian Lillard gets moved.
Right, there's gonna be a lot of opportunity.
There'll be a lot of opportunity, and he'll be able to. I think he still could have a damn good chance if Damian stays there too, if they learn how to work together. And they're basically kind of the same type of player, but it'd be interesting to see. That'd probably be mine. He might be my favorite.
Ooh. Yeah.
65. If Victor makes it 65 games, it's gonna be Victor. So I will say that. And then Scoot is my dark horse.
Yeah.
Oladipo.
I just feel bad for Victor, man. There's so much pressure. Like,
Yeah.
if he doesn't win Rookie of the Year and he plays 65 games, if he only ends up with, I don't know, 20, 18, 20, and 10, like, that's not going to be good enough. You know what I mean? He's going to have to come in and fucking blow shit up, especially over 2-3 years. First year, whatever. But
Metaphorically.
I feel kind of bad. That's a lot of pressure, and not everybody can do the shit that LeBron did with all the fucking cameras all around with social media and everything like that. Not everybody can just walk in and live up to that.
No, a lot of them
Fuck.
buckle.
That's tough, man.
A lot of them buckle, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's fair to him either.
Who else did that happen to recently? The Mello brothers.
To a certain extent, but theirs was more injury. As soon as they got there, as soon as the last one came in, you didn't hear from the dad anymore.
Is that one shot now?
What?
Not like literally shot.
No, he
right?
might be done, yeah.
Yeah,
For the
career.
season.
No,
Or
career.
is that career?
Yeah.
For the knee?
He said it was because of the shoes, too.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. He would have to put on a new pair of shoes every quarter. Yeah. Yeah, look that up.
No.
Yeah.
Like
The ball.
the
ball. Triple B, whatever.
Triple B.
Yeah.
he would have to put on a new pair of shoes.
Big baller brand.
Why would he not do that?
What?
No,
Why would
they're
he-
saying that's what he was having to do because the shoes were trash.
Yeah. Yep. So apparently they were really bad, and seems like that's a big part of the injuries.
I'm not buying. I bought a bunch of cards today. I'm just. looking
But
at the
Miles,
prices of them.
your question, I think Ben Simmons might be the next.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like super hyped up and everything, and just crumbled. That man is a head case.
Can we
Zion.
already put him there? I mean,
Zion.
shit.
Look at Zion. Injury prone though. Injury prone.
He's
Yeah,
so good
he's-
when he's out there.
He is. Like Simmons, when he plays, like he just does not live up to what coming out of college and everything that he was supposed to be.
I never seen
Yeah.
the sex tape, so he must be staying.
I don't know.
He does. He loosely does. And from what came from Sports Illustrated, the Lakers got so concerned with Ball's injury history early in his career that team officials even asked if the Triple B ZO2s Lonzo was wearing had anything to do with his health. At the time, Lonzo denied the allegations, but privately he knew what was up because because they are my shoes. I had to debut them.
Debuted him. When did he say this? Oh, January 1st, 2023. Okay, so that is this year.
Retail
He's
price
right, you
of
probably have to.
$495.
Yeah.
Over shoes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So during a 2019 interview with the Knicks guard Josh Hart's podcast, Ball joked about his shoes falling apart during the NBA Summer League before his rookie season. Just trash. Try to look that website up. I don't even know if it's a real website anymore.
Yeah, you probably get a virus.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in business anymore.
Oh, I have one of these cards.
But, yeah.
Sweet.
What else, man? So sticking on the NBA, we haven't had a chance to talk about Chris Paul being moved twice, really, since the last time we talked sports, besides Estes.
He got moved twice?
Yeah.
He got traded from the Suns to the Wizards to now
The Warriors.
the Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that went when I was reading, I thought it went the other way. Okay.
Now, on a little sub note before I ask you guys that, evidently the Suns are not going to part with their center either. DeAndre Ayton.
That's
They're
good.
gonna
I did
keep
see
it
that.
in with that.
So they actually come out and said, who did I see? They asked somebody. Philly. They want Tobias Harris and they'd be willing to part with if they could find another team that would take DeAndre Ayton.
But Philly, what they want for Tobias Harris is insane.
Yeah.
They want a gold rush for Tobias Harris, and they don't even use him.
Dude, you'd be
So
better
it's
off.
fucking crazy.
You'd be better off going for Bam.
Ooh. Big Baller Brand is still a thing.
Big Baller Brand.
Well,
How
that's
much is their shoes?
It's
How
going
much?
to have to
Click
be
on
because
so
that's all he's got.
what?
I told you so for $895
yeah,
for
they
these
can
red
suck
ones.
it.
$895.
I don't think so.
Not bad.
No, that,
Hold on. Our type of slip-ons that we all like to rock, especially me and you, $200.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sales
The
must
massage-
be.
There's CEO ones for $220.
Oh,
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Trash. Good.
These are really, really bad. Holy shit.
I'm not a shoe guy.
They look
so
like
I
Yeezys.
would never pay money for like that for shoes.
No.
They look like.
Pay like $30 for my flip flops, man. They last me a couple years.
I mean, I would pay like $70 for a pair of shoes, and that's it.
70?
Yeah.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm
Hey,
probably
dude.
with you. I don't like I
That's
can't
probably my
remember the
max.
most expensive that
What'd
I've.
you say?
I probably wouldn't go over 100 for sure.
Any more? Man, I wish I could still wear like my retro Jordans.
Either way,
and
one of
stuff.
those offside note here.
I used to buy them from China, fake.
Do you have confidence in what the Suns have done?
They got rid of their coach.
Danny, the CP3 hater, even he was admitting that series probably would have been different had he been there.
But they got rid of their
Right?
coach
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, they could have.
And they got rid of their coach too.
Yeah, there we go.
They were that close to knocking them off.
You're right.
The only team, that you can come close to doing it, and and that's a big key. The old boy was not involved.
Well, I think I said this in a podcast before. I was like, I could see him going somewhere so that they can let him have a championship when he retires.
Yep. And then what would Washington get in return?
Jordan Poole and picks, man. They got Jesus. It's insane.
And hold on, were a single one of those, Danny, first round picks?
no, was it 2 seconds? It wasn't. It was insane. Yeah.
Oh, 2 seconds, not my.
So we're gonna break this down because this is gonna take a second. So the very first question I had for you is, are you okay with what the Suns did though? Are they better off today than they were when they had CP3 for a chance at a championship?
Yeah, I think so. I think we talk about Chris Paul not being healthy and the injury stuff like that. I think Bradley Beal brings some healthiness to the lineup, some ability to score without the other guys out there. Chris Paul, you're not really counting on him. You're counting on him to facilitate the offense. Bradley Beal can score if you a guy you need a bucket, he can go get it. As always, the interesting thing is, can the big three click together? And that's what all these teams nowadays, when they're forming these teams like this, can you make it happen chemistry-wise and everything like that? So, yeah, I think it was the Suns, it'll come down to those guys getting in the gym together. So, but I like what they did. I do. You move on from an older player who's shown that he's and injury prone, and it's only going to probably, you can guess, as he gets older, get worse. And add some more offense. It'll be interesting to see if they do actually try to move on from Ayton, but I do like what they did. And got it at a steal.
Yeah, they got it. They
got
definitely got
a
it
steal for sure.
Yeah.
So you can only applaud them for that.
I'm not going to speak for the Suns, but on the Warriors stand.
Yeah, hold on. This question is the Suns.
Yeah, they screwed up. You got rid of your head coach. You got rid of CP3. CP3 could have helped the coach transition in. He's going to help the players. He's still going to find the open guy every time. So now you put him on the most lethal three-point shooting team. What's he going to do? He's going to kick it to the open guy every play. And when they're open, they barely miss. So now you just gave the Warriors plus 15 points every game. And that's not even with CP3 scoring.
Which you kind of knew was going to happen, too. Like the Suns, it isn't like the Suns are shocked that he got bounced back to the Western Conference, right? Yeah. They knew the writing was on the wall that he was going to end up
somewhere
either the Clippers or something like that anyway.
He was going to end up on a team that had a chance to push a contender, so because they already talking about buying him out or whatever. So they knew it was going to happen. He was going to go to a team that they could possibly be fighting for. Going through that Western side, so yeah.
It's not good for the Suns. So I know you mentioned Bradley Beal's health. That's not good. His health isn't great. So he plays about 50 games a year.
You wouldn't want to play for the Wizards either.
And you're right on that. Maybe there's some games where he could have played and he didn't. Yeah, for sure. They're three of the same players that they have right now. They're the exact same player. You needed that Chris Paul to distribute and to come in clutch late in games and not do the same shit. And that's part of the reason they didn't do well, I think, against Denver, is it was just KD and, oh boy, they do the same shit, right? Which is great, but when you have three of the same and then who knows what's going to happen with Ayton, I don't know, man. I don't think the injury thing helps. Everybody on that team is injury prone now.
Yeah, Aaron does get injured.
So I'm not big on that. And they don't have any depth either. So they're injury prone and no depth. The best thing for them to do is move Ayton on and try to get some pieces to help, in my opinion. I know the coach was a big deal. But fuck.
Me and Danny are going to see eye to eye. I don't think it was. Maybe it was a good idea to try to shake something up, but you don't know what you had. And I always have a big problem with that. Like you ship somebody off, and you don't know what you could have had. Like you don't even know. They were up against the ropes with the NBA champion, right? And maybe he wouldn't have been there for it next year because he gets injured a lot with CP3. But maybe you just intentionally hold him out for half the season. Then.
Yeah,
get him to where it's like maybe you do something like that. I understand. Like you should be playing every game. You're by contract. People come to pay to come watch you play. But literally, this man has an injury history, so maybe you just actually push it off, you know? I think the biggest thing is, first off, 100% right, and I didn't know that. I had to look that up. Bradley Beal has not played in over 60 games in an NBA season since 2018-19.
That's because he's not making it to the
there's
this is the regular season.
Yeah,
you're just
regular season.
Oh, okay.
He played 82 in back-to-back seasons in 17-18 and 18-19.
Okay.
But before that, he had never played. He had 77, but it's kind of there too, right? So you did get younger, considerably younger. He's only 29, and the upside could be intriguing. But what also worries me is that he's practically for his whole career, gentlemen, has played for a loser.
Is he not?
He's never played for a real winner, a real consistent winner. So that kind of scares me a little bit too, that you're set in these ways. And I don't see the LeBron-esque player on this team that can get you that can get you up and turn you into that. Kevin Love was the same concern when he went to the Cavaliers, but then you had a LeBron that could we're up here now, brother. We're not stat stuffing. We're part of a crew, a team, and this is what we're going to do, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you got that on there to be like, hey, Beal, that isn't how we play basketball anymore. This isn't.
Yeah.
I feel like the only concern I had with it.
Yeah, by himself. I think hopefully bringing this big three in, you think, I think if you're a team looking at creating a super team, quote unquote, bringing stars in, it's more so to be like, it doesn't have to be you putting up 30 a game. It doesn't have to be you. It can be all of you kind of balling out, right? So that's what I would guess they're hoping for is, because in Washington he had nobody. Kuzma for a little bit.
Absolutely, but wouldn't that concern you also the other way, that he's not used to not being the guy every single time when he is on the court? Like, where is he going to, like in his own mind, where's he going to fit when it's like, hey, KD.
Well, that's why it's a good thing they done it early, right? So they get a whole off season to work and whatever. It's not like the Mavericks trade, right? Just did not work out because they didn't have any time to click and
I
mesh.
agree with that.
So, I mean, yeah, always that concern, but I think this is the right time to do it before season again. They can practice all out, try to build that chemistry up because that's ultimately what's going to be a big deal.
What chemistry are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You're talking about Bradley Beal,
Mm-hmm.
and who else?
KD and
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker. It takes a while, especially when you're all shooters,
Yeah.
to definitely have. And who do you have to distribute now?
Right.
Wait
Bradley
a
Beal
minute.
kind of did a little bit, but he was also on a horrible team. So when he
Yeah.
did pass, I mean, that's what's gonna.
So you're worried about.
We've always cared about chemistry. No matter how good the talent is, you need the chemistry. Like literally, Dallas could have been so much better had they had him all season long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could. That's every team that has ever been. The one thing that could have helped blend the Suns in is the guy that can do when you have a pure point guard that he's a pass first guy, which is kind of old school now, right?
Yeah.
That can help. That helps transition that even more, like easier, because you're like they're just like divvying up. Now you have to get used to who's getting the shot. Like when we come down the court and like when you are hitting me, like where are we hitting this pass at? Like
Bradley Beal will be the most technical fouled player next year. He will have more technical fouls than anybody next year.
Book it. Why do you say that?
Why do you say that?
Because now that I'm thinking about it, he cannot transition into that. He gives me the vibes of that smart guy.
Kyrie?
No, the smart guy for the Celtics.
Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smart. You know how like he ended up growing out of it. I mean, ish. But I think he's going to be worse because it's going to be like he's leaving being the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's going to transition into this, and he's going to like, I got to kick the ball out, Like, if I don't kick the ball out, I'm going to hear about it on the bench, and he's just going to get I'm telling you, this is going to take a toll on this guy.
Well, he's going to be competing for something now, so I think, if you're brought into a team that's expected to compete, that's what you're looking at instead of the Wizards, right? It was like kind of whatever.
But
I'm
you
gonna
aren't
get my
pushing for
payday.
anything.
But you're
Yeah.
brought.
Yeah, exactly. You're here collecting a paycheck, and you're not really pushing for anything. I think guys will be a little bit different.
Well, that being said, we all agree that the Wizards got
No,
have been nothing, right?
yeah.
Jordan Poole's gonna be in heaven. He can launch 40 shots a game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So he's in heaven. There's one winner in that part, and that's Jordan Poole. You get to launch as many as you want. If winning doesn't mean everything, and he'll be able to get paid even more, and be the guy and launch 40 shots a game, he's happy.
Jordan Poole's the winner because he doesn't have to worry about getting a concussion at practice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on now.
100%.
You're not wrong.
And the fact that they were making it sound like they would get rid of the other guy instead of Poole.
Draymond.
Yeah.
They weren't going to.
No, they can't.
They
He's too
keep
important,
selling. They have stood fast on that since the season was over.
So he's
Steve
not
Kerr
going
said
to
that
Lakers?
No, he said he has. Well, I'm not saying it can't happen.
Oh,
He's a
okay.
free agent.
Oh, okay.
What I'm saying is that they want him back. This isn't one of those things where they're like, "Hey, no, we're done." Fucking no. They actually all have made sure they've made a point of it.
So is that their commitment, getting rid of Poole?
Yeah, I think
yeah.
it is.
I think it is,
I
too.
think it clearly states we want you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, don't care if you're in year 17 of your season. We
Okay.
want you.
Okay.
I think that made that very clear.
Yeah, they know Draymond's critical to that team, man.
Yeah,
He's
and they
there.
know that the feng shui was off all fucking season.
Yeah,
After
it was.
That.
Yeah.
And that was also because Jordan Poole was being a bitch too. Yes, you got hit, and it sucks and everything got leaked and blah blah blah. but grow up and be a man. Like
Should either hit him back or just fucking move on.
Or be like, yeah,
all right,
yeah,
Danny,
that's what I
Danny,
mean. Like,
hold on. He didn't get a chance, dude. Okay.
he did get knocked out.
That's the one thing that does worry me about Chris Paul going over there. You know, DeAndre has been that leader, right? The vocal leader and everything, and I feel like Chris Paul.
You say DeAndre?
Or, Draymond.
Draymond.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, brother.
Draymond has been that guy for those, and I feel like Chris Paul is the same person.
Yeah.
So now you've got to come into this locker room and still try to be the same, but they already have one of those there.
And then I'm curious how that.
I'm real curious about. Yep. And so that worries me a little bit, and
they played in the. Didn't they play in the Olympics together though too? Like they have a little bit, right?
And Chris Paul just wants to win.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? He just wants to win, so I think he'll do what it takes to fit.
Chris Paul.
I think
Steve Kerr.
Building
like
off
friends.
what you're saying, I think Draymond would be more. I think after he's seen what happened last year, he's all about winning. I don't think he would let something like that kind of like we're not doing this. Like I seen what happened last year. You're a seasoned vet. I know you're not going to do dumb shit like Jordan Poole is doing. You're trying to win. I think that will be pushed a little more to the side. Old boy's going to take a little bit of a backseat regardless because this is a seasoned team that has won multiple championships. You're here to get a championship and help us get one, of course.
Right.
But let's keep this real. You don't have one, we do. So follow our lead. Hopefully you can distribute. But that will come into my next question. How does he fit with this offense?
You know, I think he's a guy who can fit in any offense. I'm more curious, I guess, to see how Steph Curry does without the ball in his hands all the time. You know, he can shoot from anywhere, but now Chris Paul is going to have the ball in his hands, right? He's not – I mean, that's where the ball has to start. Chris Paul is not a guy who does well without the ball in his hands.
But that's because that's where the play starts.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
He's going to – Chris Paul is going to have the ball in his hands. Steph Curry can shoot from everywhere, but almost – he is point guard, right? So he usually starts with the ball in his hands and then gets – if he has to move off ball, whatever, moves around. But Chris Paul, is when he's in there, it's got to flow through him. So it'll be interesting how that meshes together. I mean, obviously, going to be a dangerous team from anywhere they shoot, right? So just and again, they're going to have a whole offseason to build a chemistry. So, I mean, they could put up some wild stats, you know, throwing up three-pointers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm just worried about how fast they move. They move so much faster than Chris Paul's ever moved. So I don't know if he can keep up.
Since
I think when he's in,
Hornets,
it's going to have to be
right?
different.
Since the Hornets, right?
It's
They moved a
since-
little, well, actually, no, you're right.
Not even.
David, I remember they ran a beautiful half court.
Yeah,
offense.
it's a
You're
lot
right.
of like pick and roll, which is beautiful too, right? Which could work with Steph and everything, but I'm just more worried about how fast paced they are, and they don't adjust to players. Players have to come in and adjust to the system. We saw that with KD and everything too. That's more of what I'm worried about. Because Steph, man, you've watched plenty of videos of him running around doing crazy shit. He doesn't need the ball necessarily. He can get to his spot, fucking
De'Aaron
pop
Fox,
off.
remember that? He's like, what they were saying about Dellavedova, that white dude that about died and chased him. He's like, it's true. I chased him for a quarter, and it is stupid ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
So
I think what we're all missing on this though is okay. How many games that were close that the Warriors could have won if they did slow down? I mean, I've seen it from time to time with them again. They just want to, let's get a bigger lead. No, let's just milk this clock.
See, I would feel better if this was, instead of Chris Paul, if this was, the Dallas got, Kyrie, because, and you say Steph without the ball in his hands, but Chris Paul's not legit, like, he's going to score on you, right? So that's why,
it's a good point.
If it was Kyrie instead, who can dish, who can shoot three, has the handles, I'd feel a whole lot better about this whole deal.
Yeah.
So you're not quite sold on CP to the Warriors? Then.
Not quite. Like I said, they do have a whole offseason to try to figure things out, but I just don't know. He's not to go out and put up massive scoring totals.
And he's not young anymore either.
So, like I said, I'd feel better if, was trying to have the ball out of Steph's hands if it was somebody like Kyrie who could shoot the three, who could have the handles and get to the basket while old boy's doing his thing without the ball, make the team a whole lot more dangerous than a Chris Paul deal.
Yeah.
We almost had a pretty big rarity. I told you guys off air, but had Chris Paul thrown a Washington Wizards or That is Wizards still,
Yeah.
right? I didn't know if it was
I don't know if-
I
yeah,
didn't
does
know.
it offend?
I didn't know if it offended anyone from like the
Like Harry Potter
1600s
fans or
or
I'm
something.
offended
something.
already.
Yeah. Gandalf.
You're a wizard, Harry.
But if he would have thrown a jersey on, it was just insane when I seen it because I seen it in picture form. But it was the Clippers, the Wizards, and the Rockets. All would have had the same starting point guards in the same era as each other. And those were CP3, Russell Westbrook, and John Wall. If he just had thrown them on.
If he got cut, where would you like to see him go? Say they're just like, here you go pick
Well, wait.
wherever you would like
Wait,
to go.
CP?
but before James answers
CP.
that, can I say something? I fully believe in LeBron's retirement now because of this move. Because I feel like he would have done everything to get the Lakers to get CP3 there. And that's why I just wanted to say that, because that's where I would believe he would end up.
I think Bron's planning to be a free agent for when his son comes out. I think that's because I think he wants to play a year with his son.
I think his son told him he didn't want to. I don't know if you guys caught that excerpt from his interview he had. Did you catch that, Danny? You're shaking
We
your
were
head like
talking
you
about
did.
LeBron, what he said. He's
Yeah,
like, yeah, I
he's
just
like,
said that.
I wanted to.
Yeah.
My son has different, and that's
Oh.
how he put it.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
I haven't seen
my son has different goals, and that is not one of his
Yeah,
goals.
I see. Well, that's because
So like I thought it was. I was like, oh, that's where I was like, oh, maybe this retirement thing is because
Okay.
that's what he was holding on for. I
Yeah.
believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And once that came out, and then he's thinking about retirement, and then he said what he said about Bronny. I was like, oh,
Huh, I've
Maybe-
never seen that.
maybe
Yeah.
why would
there's
he?
a little bit
Why
of-
would he not want to play with his dad though? That's crazy.
because he wants to
your
go.
own
He wants,
legacy.
Man.
it's a huge
Yeah,
shadow.
you don't want to be in that shadow.
Just
yeah.
1 year.
No.
Dad wants 1 year to be with you, and you are.
It'd be awesome. In hindsight, is where you'd see that. Like in hindsight, like after 20 years down the road, Bronny's retired, or if he even made it in the league or whatever,
Right, 'cause
then
that
he'd
doesn't
be like,
happen.
God, that I could have had a
'Cause
potential
that's
time
so,
to play
so
with. my-"
rare. I mean, what the Ken Griffey Jr.'s got to
Yeah.
play together, and who
But at the-
else?
Yeah,
Not-
Is
not
it anybody
very
else?
many.
I mean, yeah, it's
I can't
it doesn't
think of
happen.
anybody else other than Ken Griffey. Can you not state though, like, if I'm Bronny, this man molded you to be the player you are. I mean, it's kind of hard when they were playing that many games in a season to see it, I guess.
You know, but with his last name, there's so many. You know, there's so much hype. There's so much. You got to be this. You probably got to be that. You know, I mean, God, imagine if the Jordan brothers had any of them had played basketball and been
Yeah.
good. You know, I mean, I can only imagine the
And then
pressure.
if Jordan was on the team with them,
Oh,
that
yeah.
spotlight
Oh
is
my
only
God.
bigger.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, I get it if the kid doesn't.
I got it figured out. It's
So-
all because what his dad did to him when he got caught smoking weed on Instagram Live. Damn it.
Those are
He got
duos,
disciplined and he said, I'm
yeah,
not playing with
play
you,
each
Dad.
other.
maybe
I
maybe
think,
so.
dude, that might have been about it for like who played with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that list is
Is there anybody,
might be one person.
no legends on there?
Tiger and Charlie, but Charlie
Yeah.
hasn't gotten there
That's
yet.
not pro. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not pro when they play together.
Charlie finally
But, I mean,
outdrove
it'll
his
probably
dad.
happen.
Regardless.
Charlie outdrove his dad.
Yeah.
I do have, just because you brought this up, or you brought his name up, I do have one other NBA thing to bring up. What did you guys think about the whole Marcus Smart trade and everything involved in that?
So that one intrigued me in the sense that I don't know. So that was another Washington Wizard. You want to go ahead and throw some stats in there too. So Porzingis quietly had a good season.
Yeah.
Nobody talked about it,
Because it's on a bad team.
but they all played on a shitty team.
Yeah.
Right? So was it really or was it not? I don't know why you would. It feels like Marcus Smart is Draymond Green of the Celtics.
Yes.
So you just got rid of your glue. The glue that like will fire you up, will also piss you off too. Like you want to punch him in the face in the locker room. But it's also the guy that like will let you know that shit is being bullshit right now. We need to focus. And I thought that was weird for a guy to trade for a guy like that. Last time that happened, Porzingis didn't pan out. I don't understand where they were going with this. He went to Memphis, right?
Yeah.
So Memphis got one hell of a player that may be able to fucking straighten out old boy after his 25-game ban.
He's the real version of what they just lost. Of what the fuck is his name?
Yeah, Derek. Wasn't it Derek?
The one that fucked with LeBron in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
the whole time. Brooks.
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 Yeah. He's the real he's like what Derek Brooks thought
He was, yeah.
right?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan
Brooks.
Yeah,
Yep.
sorry. Yep.
But yeah, so that was my first initial one. Who was the third team in that? There's 3 teams. It was Porzingis. The other player must not have been. Who did the Wizards get? They got somebody in that mix. It wasn't like a highly Tyus Jones. That's right. Tyus Jones went there. Which whatever at that
He was
point.
okay with Memphis.
Yeah, he's okay. Don't get me wrong. He's he was great coming off the bench. He really is. But you're going to the Washington's in whatever mode. Not even rebuild, 'cause you're just getting second rounders. But the Porzingis one, that's what you trade for. What are you trying to do? The little bit of defense you had, you go and ship out the door for Porzingis to try to outshoot with somebody. Who are you worried about that you needed to outshoot? You need to beat Miami, who's a defensive juggernaut in today's game, which is impressive to say, right? Today's game, it's all offense.
They run fast, yeah.
So that would be my answer also. So I just transitioned right into that. It would be CP3 to Miami. They have enough depth all around. Not everybody's like through the roof, but they're like a solid, if you want to go NBA, 2K rankings, they're like all solid 80s.
Yeah.
Across the board, right? So he doesn't need to play every minute of every game and do this, that, and the other. But when playoffs come down to it, you have a go-to guy that can help crunch this down at the end of the game. And it doesn't have to be just Jimmy B. Because you end up feeling for him because he pours everything out.
Like I said, that's why they went after Kyle Lowry, because they thought they need a point guard. And they brought him in. It just hasn't really worked.
And Kyle just couldn't get healthy, and he just wasn't the same.
Yeah,
Which you kind of saw that up there. CP3 is still playing at a high level. Kyle Lowry is kind of like a year down, like even with the Raptors before he went down there.
Yeah.
For one final shot, that's where I'd like to see him go. I'd like to see him give Jimmy B the help.
Yeah.
Man, he got to lose.
If he can't get Dame time.
He got to lose some of that butt. That dude be running down the floor, and he just it just look like his body's so
hold
upset.
on, you would.
I'm just stating.
You would.
I'm just
There's a basketball
stating.
game going on. This dude is doing what women do. Like, damn, dude, look at that dude's trunk.
I said butt.
Turn around. Let me see it swing.
Everybody's got a butt.
What do you think about Porzingis going to Boston though?
I don't think it does anything though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Porzingis going to Boston? That does a lot.
It'll be interesting. Maybe replace who's that boy? Al Horford, getting older.
This is a debate.
We'll see what he can do health wise and stay on the court. Possibly a small upgrade there. Yeah, I don't know. It's
He went to the right team.
they got to figure it out on offense. Jason Tatum can have all his Kobe images and stuff he needs.
Yeah, he can hang up all those posters all he wants.
At some point, you got to realize you got teammates there. You don't have to throw bricks up. So it'll be interesting to see how Boston turns out this year.
You made the right statement right there. Porzingis landed in the right spot.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's in the right spot for Boston.
Yeah.
Just my
No.
point.
No.
I'm going to say no.
All right.
Clear cut no.
So I'll cap this off, man. It's a terrible move for Boston. They went from a defensive team to now they're trying to flip to an offensive team. I don't know how you just do that in a year.
That's what everything
That's
is.
such a big deal. Smart being gone, you said that right, man. He's the Draymond for that team. He's so important to that fucking team.
Yep.
Now they have no defense. Porzingis he gets hurt. He's not good. He hasn't been good since fucking 1 year in Utah or whatever. Isn't that where he came from originally? Was
No,
Utah?
no, New York.
New York. He went to Dallas. He was okay for like a season there, and then he started
No,
getting hurt
New York.
again.
Remember the what they call him, the unicorn?
Unicorn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it was the
Yeah.
same time as the Jeremy Lin too,
Yeah.
kind of in that ballpark, right?
So he balled out. Dallas swung a massive trade for him. He had like one baller season in Dallas, but then after
He got
that,
injured.
just injury after injury after injury. Couldn't
Yep.
stay on the court.
Yeah, he was.
Because they were pairing. They were like Luka and him, the European stars, and just didn't work out, and so they shipped him off. And
So he was
Speaking
in
of
he was
Dallas-
in New York, went home, got busted up, and then he got traded as soon as he got home.
Dallas had a hell of a draft night. I don't know if y'all saw it. Yeah, a little biased, but they end up getting Derek Lively, and then trading again and getting another first-round pick, a guy I'm not too familiar with, Oliver something, but they got rid of David Bertrands. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but massive contract for them. They were just carrying for no reason. End up getting rid of him and that other first-round pick. And then Rashawn Holmes from Sacramento, I want to believe, bringing him in as well, a part of that trade. So kind of made some interesting moves.
What's Kyrie's story there? Does he have another year, or is he a free agent right now?
Well, that Casey
really not
Wallace
sure.
is from Kentucky, and he's also a point guard. So I wonder if they're ready to let Kyrie walk.
Yeah.
I think he's a free agent after this.
No. Okay, so they sign and trade with they got Derek Lively. They signed and trade that Case and Wallace with.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So Derek Lively's a center.
Yeah, center for from Duke.
From Duke, yeah.
Disgusting.
Who's the? I'm not seeing their other one that you're talking about.
so-
Is that second rounders?
No, it was a first rounder, and it was another one. So it doesn't show up on there, kind of like there.
Okay.
What around two?
It's Oliver Maxence Prosper. So they got him and Rashawn Holmes from Sacramento.
Okay, from Marquette. Gotcha.
Getting some youth. All right.
The Olivier.
What is that league that those twin brothers played in? Team Elite. What is that?
Is that the one that is over in Aussie?
I don't know where that's at.
I'll look it up quick. Overtime Elite.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. I've never heard of that. It's not that. That's not that G League team you were talking
No,
about.
No, that's
This is,
Ignite.
I'm pretty sure this is the one that was like Aussie NBA team. Is where like LaMelo,
I think so
that
too.
same league.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I thought
It's a
I thought
league
LaMelo went to Spain.
in-
LaMelo went to Spain.
Well, he did. They did a few things. He went to like South
It's
America. for a while,
headquartered
too.
in Atlanta. It's a whole league.
Oh.
16 to 20-year-olds based in Atlanta, Georgia. The league is owned and operated by Overtime and was founded by Dan Porter and Zach Weiner.
Let's form our own NBA league. Like, come
No
on.
shit. If we
Yeah.
can just
Let's go.
do that.
Yeah, like what the fuck? What are we doing right now?
Right.
What? Iowa Cornhuskers. That
Either
you see what
way,
I did just pissed off two
A
states.
lot of these were a little suspicious. I kind of get the Suns. I kind of get the Suns trying to stir it up. To a certain extent, I wouldn't have pulled the trigger. The Warriors a little iffy on that, but I think they did that more to get rid of Poole to show something than it did to actually get CP3. But getting CP3 shows that they're still committed to winning.
Yeah.
So I think they kind of knocked two birds out with one stone with that one. Don't know what the fuck Washington's doing. I think they're still looking for about 10 more years of losing.
What do we think of Golden State? Is their run kind of over? Are they done? I mean, they're going to be a gate holder kind of, or
What?
they have a couple more runs in them. What do you think?
2 more years.
I think their run is over, but I'm not taking that as a dig. I'm saying they're still going to make interesting runs in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Kings, as long as they keep that core together, they are going to be they should be in the NBA Finals next year. But they're definitely going to be Western Conference Finals from almost here on out, barring injuries. I think the teams are too young. Denver isn't going to get any worse, obviously, unless old boy stays on the farm over there with the horses. But
right, you have all these young teams that are up and coming and only getting better, and you have then the aging superstars.
Yeah, and then these teams will eventually take off once all this talent. It's proven, except for the Pistons.
yeah.
But
no shit.
eventually, Houston's all these picks that they've reeled in.
Thunder, the Thunder have got
the
to rise up.
Thunder,
All
the
their
Thunder
guys
are already
on the-
kind of scary. They've been hovering
I
around.
know.
They have even fallen off when they let all these guys go. They
didn't have
the
their
tune of the
first-round
8
pick.
seed.
Yeah.
So I actually do think it's over. I think they'll be a scary team. I mean, they'll still be like that
It was
that
at the
bot,
shot,
that punchers. They're still respectable. Like you like to bring it up quite a bit, like that stepping stone in UFC. Like, hey, this is the one you need to get by if you actually think that you are. That's kind of where you're at now, I think. But maybe they have one more punch in them. I didn't think they had another championship 2 years ago either. So
Right. You think, Danny?
Yeah, I think they have a shot over the next couple years to win one more. They did really well last year, and they had no chemistry. The whole fucked up deal with Draymond and Poole. I do think they have a shot. Yeah, I like the way you put that too. Like, it's not a dig. The West is getting better. Like, all of those teams that you guys mentioned are fucking really good. And Denver they should go back again next year. You know what I mean? How well they played, the chemistry and everything.
Yeah.
But Sacramento's coming up. It's like, if they don't, it's not because of anything they did. Like, the teams are just getting better, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Aren't the Kings just a younger version of them?
Yeah.
You know,
Kinda, yeah.
They have all those pieces. They were like what they were 8 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, they have all those pieces. They have height. They have range. They have 3-point. They have athleticism. They have everything. They have that clear-cut leader.
Yeah.
I think they're that team, and I think it isn't that they've gotten necessarily worse. They've aged, but teams have gotten younger and gotten better, and they're going to be flying here soon in the West, especially the West. East isn't looking bad either. We have some interesting basketball. I hope competitive nature just takes over, and these cats actually start learning to playing on the goal of trying to play 82 games in a year. I hope that becomes popular again.
Yeah, agreed.
That becomes hip, and you get that competitive shit, and maybe we get a little bit of defense. I like scoring, of course, but a little bit of defense because I like seeing rivalries. It isn't because you can come up and just shoot uncontested shots. It's the chip shots that go on that. That's what I want to see if you want to bring that back.
You know, I haven't been to many NBA games. I have heard that it seems so like a pickup game, the regular season.
It does.
You know, I haven't been in a long time. I was blessed to be able to go to a finals game in 2011, but as regular season, I really haven't seen much in a long time. So
there's nothing like playoff basketball.
No.
I've
It's
always
amazing
said that.
how much it changes.
Yes, it is. It is. It felt very I took the boys up to see LeBron with the Cavaliers going against the Timberwolves, right? And that's exactly what it felt like. I agree with that. It felt like a pickup game. They're kind of just out there flying around, this, that, and the other. Playoff basketball still has that competitive nature in it that has a little bit of that chippiness, and that's what I love. There's nothing quite like NBA playoff basketball, especially when you get down to the
right.
Yeah,
gritty.
the NBA is kind of transitioning in the workforce in America. You get the guys that had been playing the 82 games or that did the 82 games are now getting paid the same as the guys only playing 60 games.
Mm-hmm. And they expect to be getting paid that. Not,
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Who's got to make sense tonight?
I do.
Ooh, that was quick.
We haven't heard of
I
Miley.
do. And this one's kind of like sentimental.
Oh, okay.
Kind of letting some of my friends know they were right. So
Whoa.
this weekend, I chose to stay home with my family all weekend. Did family stuff. Kind of lazy, you know. It sucks. Coming off nights, Danny, and then trying to transition back to the daytime.
Feel like a little vampire-ish. No big deal. Yeah.
You catch that, Danny? I said my shift.
I'm proud of you.
did catch
I'm
that.
proud of you.
So you know,
Where do you live?
Nebraska. I live in
Nebraska Avenue?
Yeah, Pipro. Anyways, so I take the family out to eat today with my tickets I had won from my gambling. And when I'm stating this is I have quit drinking. I haven't gambled in 3 weeks. 1 week tomorrow or today would be without drinking, which got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm not going to church. We're not going to go that route, okay? Don't start trying to beat me into this, okay, guys? But what I'm saying is, so today we leave the sports page after eating, and I use my tickets there, and the lady's like, oh, well, you know, she's kind of upset that she had to go count them all, but whatever.
Those tickets. Okay.
I told the kids, I said, we ain't eating cheap. You get whatever you want. Anyways, use my tickets. Walk back towards the car because all the kids had food all over them, so she's cleaning them all up. And then I decided to go look at sports cards because, you know, that's my new addiction now.
That's a good. That's not a bad addiction.
I'm not going overboard with it, but I mean, I had to do a little something. You know, it's still the surprise. You know, it's not a spin of a wheel, but it's a spin. It's opening a package now. It's something to, you know, grieving or whatever you want to call it. But on our way to the sports cards, the mall cop walks by us and he's like, hi, hope you guys have a good day. And I'm like, hi. And he goes, oh, hey, I found these cards. Somebody must have went through their cards and then threw them on the ground and kept their goods, you know. And he grabbed them, put them in his little pocket. And so he gave my older two kids a card apiece, right? And I was like, oh, thank you, sir. And he looked at me and he said, I hope you have a great family day. And walking in the sports store, I damn near cried. I was like, fuck you guys. You know what I'm saying? I was like, out of all the things that guy could have said at that moment, have a good family day. And I was just like, everybody just kept trying to beat in my head. Just be home more. And, hindsight, maybe it took me, it took a little bit of learning, but, and still not out of the woods, as anybody that has any issues like that. But just stating that.
Feels good.
Yeah, it felt
good.
I was more pissed if that's what came out of his mouth, though. Like I was like, because it hit me hard. I was just like, out of all the things for you to say, you just have to say exactly what everybody's been saying.
Yeah,
and,
but you had an awesome family day.
I did, and and I appreciate it from everybody, though.
So makes sense if you don't think about it in the sense of the goofiness that it would come out of a random person's mouth. That exact statement at that exact time. Okay.
I mean, the makes sense about it is, my family wrote it out with me, though. The friends that did stick it out, and I did lose people on the way, but I also had people that stayed. And the make sense part is you're gonna figure out who's there for you and who's not along the way, is basically. But for somebody to word that at that moment, even the people that I have lost were right too. So.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Boom, boom,
Boom, boom.
That was a good make sense.
that was.
Keep the train moving.
And keep the card collection going on.
I am.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what
That's a good addiction, Dad.
I'll tell you what really sucks though, is so TikTok's really good about listening to your phone. So I open all these cards and then somebody's like, "Oh look, I bought this $4 one pack of cards. Only pack of cards I bought today." Go F yourself. First off, opens it up, $1,000 card in there. First thing he does, cuts it up. Cuts it up.
You piece of shit.
They make more money on the views of that than the thought.
That has to be the reason, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Still
insane.
stupid. Like, why? Just because you make that, why would you burn $1,000?
No, because Danny's right. I guess I wasn't even thinking about that, because that was like a trend. People just grabbing valuables and ruining them for views.
That's wild, man.
I'll tell you what. You guys should see what I'll do for some views.
OF. Join old John Kennedy, baby.
Whoa. He's got to come on mine, though. I'm not coming on here.
Holy shit.
That sounds wrong both ways.
Holy shit.
That sounds so horrible. Danny, wrap this up.
Oh,
Danny,
man.
wrap this up.
Hey, in hindsight, I hope y'all wrap that up too. As well.
Yeah. Yeah, wrap it up, Miles. Chlamydia sucks, dude.
Yeah, a hell of a thing.
But what shift are you on this week, Miles? First shift?
Yeah.
Okay. First shift at Pin Pro. Got it?
And bro,
Pipe Pro. We paying the piper this week.
There we go. All right, we'll go ahead and start to wrap her up, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you beautiful people that found us on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share the whole 9 yards. We really appreciate it. But where's the podcast available, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Absolutely. And we love to tell a good story. It could be inspirational like Miles over there, or something just hilarious, because we love to talk shit. If you've got one you want us to share, go ahead and slide on in.
to our DMs, like Miles and John are going to slide into each other. Just get on in there, get us that story. We can omit names, we can all that business, but we want to hear the story. Get it out to all the folks that want to hear it as well.
We can omit names, but not stains.
That's all right, and not the pain.
So, and not the pain that it might cause.
My porn name
Oh God.
is Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hobbs, Jesus.
There you go, like Lucky Chip.
Well,
or
I was going to
something.
say Dingy Hoppa, but that sounded a little too wrong.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Geek Sports.
We
out.
Discussions, I've been writing, I love it. All this doubt around me, then but look, I got it right.